There are certain details in a home that make all the difference. One of them, without a doubt, is hanging plants. They not only fill empty spaces with life and color, but also create that cozy atmosphere that truly makes us feel at home. And the best part, many of these plants are easy to care for. Perfect for those with a busy routine who still want a touch of green. Today I'm going to show you 12 plants that can transform any space. These species adapt well to hanging pots and look gorgeous on balconies, windows, or even indoors. Some have cascading foliage like green curtains. Others bloom in delicate and surprising ways. And they all have one thing in common. They make your home more beautiful, more alive, with that special charm only nature can offer. If this kind of tip resonates with you, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of the videos I prepare with so much care. And if you have a friend who also loves plants, share it with her too. 1. Golden pothos, peperomia pinnatum. This is one of those plants that seem tailor-made for people who love practicality. Golden pothos grows fast, adapts well to indoor environments, and tolerates shade better than most. Its heart-shaped leaves, in shades of green that range from light to dark, create a stunning waterfall effect when hung. It's the kind of plant that doesn't demand much, but delivers plenty of beauty. Plus, it helps purify the air. That's right, it filters toxins from the environment. If you live in an apartment or have limited space, pothos is a great choice. You can place it in macrame holders, high shelves, or even hang it from curtain rods. It fits anywhere and always stands out. A key tip, it doesn't like soggy soil. Water only when the soil is dry to the touch. And if you want it to grow fuller, do some light pruning on the stems. 2. String of hearts, Ceropegia woody. This plant has a curious name and an even more charming look. Its small heart-shaped leaves look like they were hand-drawn. They grow on thin, long stems that drape down like delicate threads, forming a living curtain that sways gently in the breeze. It's the kind of plant that catches the eye and makes any visitor stop and admire it. Despite its delicate appearance, it's tough. It likes indirect light and doesn't need frequent watering. In fact, overwatering is its biggest enemy. It's a succulent, so it stores water in its roots and even its stems. Ideal for those who forget to water sometimes. If you hang it in a well-lit spot, it will thrive and form a cascade of hearts straight out of a vintage movie. And get this, it also produces tiny, lantern-shaped flowers. A bonus charm for detail lovers. 3. Boston fern, Nephrolepis exaltata. This one is a classic, and for good reason. The Boston fern has an impressive volume, with arched fronds that form a true green fountain when hung. It instantly brings a sense of freshness and movement, as if the space breathes along with it. Many people are reminded of their grandma's house when they see a fern like this. And that's no coincidence. It carries memory, tradition, and elegance. But don't be fooled. While traditional, it's still very much in style for decor. It works great on balconies, in living rooms, kitchens, and even well-lit bathrooms. It just needs filtered light, consistent humidity, and a little watering care. It enjoys misting and a light, well-drained substrate. If the air is too dry, it feels it. So on hotter days, a light spray works wonders. One more thing. It looks great in iron or wooden holders. The natural droop of the fronds creates a pattern that seems crafted by an artist. 4. Burrow's tail, Sedum morganianum. This is one of those plants that seems straight out of a fairy tale. Burrow's tail has long trailing stems covered in chubby rounded leaves, like little green beads stacked one by one. It's a succulent. That's different from what we're used to. Exotic, delicate, and at the same time very hardy. Perfect for those who want something unique without hassle. It does wonderfully in hanging pots and loves lots of indirect light, even some morning sun. Just be careful when handling it, as the leaves fall off easily. So avoid moving it too much. When it comes to watering, less is more. Wait for the soil to dry out completely before watering again, as it stores moisture in the leaves. And here's a bonus. When it's happy, it rewards you with pink flowers that bloom at the tips of the stems. A delicate little surprise show. 5. Goldfish plant, Nematanthus wetsteini. This little plant is a favorite among those who love a mix of exotic and playful. Its shiny green leaves grow closely together, forming a dense mat that cascades beautifully from the pot. But what really stands out are its flowers. They look like tiny golden fish jumping out of the branches. And yes, that's where it gets its fun name. Goldfish plant. It's perfect for anyone who wants a hanging plant that also blooms. It loves well-lit spaces, but not direct sunlight on its leaves. Place it near windows or in covered balconies with filtered light. And to keep those blooms coming, make sure you're watering it right. It likes moist soil, but never soggy. Another plus is that it adapts well to Brazil's climate and can bloom throughout most of the year if it's healthy. It adds a subtle pop of color that livens up the room without going over the top. 6. Trailing peperomia, Peperomia prostata. This one is a subtle gem that becomes pure charm when hung. A trailing peperomia has tiny rounded leaves in a dark green hue with lighter veins that look like delicate patterns. It grows into a network of thin, flexible stems that fall like light strands, almost like little emerald necklaces. Despite its fragile appearance, it's super easy to care for. It likes diffused light and even does well in moderately lit environments. Ideal for those who want a hanging plant indoors, without the need for direct sunlight. Watering should be moderate. It prefers lightly moist soil, never soaked. And here's an important tip. Avoid misting the leaves directly, as that can encourage fungus. If placed in a shallow pot and hung in a strategic spot in the house, it creates an effect of silent delicacy, a beauty that doesn't shout but truly captivates. 7. Turtle vine, Calicia repens. This is one of those plants that win you over with their unpretentious charm and joyful spread. Turtle vine is very small, with round leaves that grow densely, forming a green and sometimes pinkish carpet, especially when exposed to plenty of light. The most beautiful part is how it spills from the pot so lightly and naturally, like a river of tiny leaves flowing down. It's perfect for hanging pots, tall planters, or even as ground cover in larger arrangements. It likes indirect light and enjoys consistently moist soil, but without overwatering. If placed in a well-lit area, its color intensifies, with purple hues underneath the leaves, adding a beautiful contrast. And it grows fast. In no time, it forms a lovely cascade. What's more, turtle vine is said to bring luck and prosperity, according to old popular traditions. Having one at home is like keeping a natural good luck charm hanging around. 8. String of pearls, Senecio rowleyanus. This is undoubtedly one of the most curious and charming trailing plants out there. String of pearls has long stems filled with little green beads, like the links of an old rosary. The look is so unique that it seems like someone hung jade necklaces instead of a plant. And when sunlight hits just right, some of the pearls even turn slightly translucent. A true natural spectacle. It's a succulent, so it loves lots of light and very little water. Perfect for sunny windows or bright balconies, where it can grow happily with minimal effort. It's essential to use well-draining soil and avoid any moisture buildup. Otherwise, the roots will rot. Oh, and even if you're tempted, avoid touching the strands too much. They break easily. During its growing season, it even produces small white flowers with a sweet fragrance that surprises. It's the kind of plant that becomes a centerpiece without even needing flashy blooms. 9. Wax plant, Hoya carnosa. Hoya carnosa is one of those plants that look like they're made of porcelain. Its thick, glossy leaves have a deep green that reflects the light beautifully. But what truly makes this plant special are its flowers, tiny pink stars with reddish centers, growing in clusters and looking like they're made of wax, hence the name. When it blooms, the sweet scent gently fills the air. It enjoys bright environments, but should be protected from intense midday sun. It can be grown indoors near windows or on covered balconies. Though it's a climbing plant, it adapts well to being grown in hanging pots, forming long, elegant draping clusters. And if well cared for, it will bloom year after year, always impressing with its perfect little shapes. Water moderately, letting the soil dry slightly between waterings. And the more at home it feels, the more generous the blooms. A living gem to always have nearby. 10. Button orchid, Dischidia numularia. This little-known beauty quickly wins over anyone who discovers it. Dischidia numularia, also known as the button orchid, has small, round, fleshy leaves that grow side by side along thin, trailing stems. The effect is like a delicate chain, as if each tiny leaf had been embroidered in place. It's a subtle plant, but when well positioned, it creates an elegant, textured display. It prefers bright, indirect light. Think windows or translucent roofed balconies. And since it's an epiphyte, meaning it naturally grows on tree trunks, it doesn't need heavy soil. A light, well-drained substrate is ideal. For watering, less is more. Let the soil dry between sessions to avoid root rot. It's perfect for those who enjoy unique but low-maintenance plants. And since it grows gently and continuously, you can hang several in a row to create a green corridor that impresses with its delicacy. 11. Spider plant, Chlorophytum comosum. The good old spider plant, also known as ribbon plant or chlorophytum, has stood the test of time and still enchants. Its long arching leaves, striped green and white, form a display that looks like green fireworks bursting from the pot. When healthy, it sends out thin stalks with baby plants on the ends, like little dangling plantlets, a true spectacle in motion. It's very resilient and easy to grow, thrives in indirect light, tolerates partial shade, and doesn't need much watering. It prefers slightly moist soil, never waterlogged. When well acclimated, it becomes a true source of new plants. Many people like to gift these baby spiderettes as a gesture of affection. Besides its beauty, it also purifies the air, helping to keep the environment fresh and healthy. A simple, generous plant full of emotional resonance. 12. Chinese lantern, Abutilon megapotamicum. Closing the list on a poetic note, we have this plant that's pure enchantment. Chinese lantern has long, flexible stems that drape gracefully. But the showstopper is its exotic flowers. They dangle like tiny red and yellow lanterns with a dark, protruding center. Each bloom looks like a delicate light glowing among the greenery. A true visual delight for anyone who loves color and motion. It enjoys gentle sun, like morning light, and thrives in hanging pots on balconies or porches, needs regular watering, but don't overdo it. The soil should be kept moist, not soaked. And when well fed, it blooms nearly all year round, always gifting new little lanterns that sway in the breeze. This plant has a nostalgic, romantic charm that enchants across generations, and since it's not that common, it always draws attention and earns compliments. Definitely a conversation piece. I hope you felt, just like I did, the warmth and affection these plants can bring into a home. It's the small acts, hanging a pot, choosing a spot with the right light, watering attentively, that gradually transform the space, and in doing so, transform us as well. Caring for plants is, at its core, a quiet way of caring for yourself, of making room for beauty, simplicity, and slow growth. And the best part is, it doesn't take much. With just a few of these hanging species, any dull balcony comes to life. Any forgotten corner becomes a little sanctuary. The cascading leaves, the surprise of a new bloom, the gift of a baby plant. All of it fills the house with movement and meaning. It's a quiet but powerful exchange. Plant lovers know. They give back. If this video helped you in any way, if you're leaving here inspired to refresh a corner of your home or simply feeling like you learned something new, consider clicking the Thanks button on YouTube. It really helps keep this project going, made with so much care for everyone who loves this green universe. And of course, share it with someone you know will also fall in love. See you next time.